Hi, I'm Alexandra. I am a formerly homeschooled entrepreneur and aspiring actress. So I was homeschooled my entire secondary school education. I went to primary school and I did all of primary school and I loved it. But apparently when it came to choosing secondary schools, I asked my parents if I could be homeschooled. They didn't know where that came from, but they went to the CHU conference and they learnt a bit about the different curriculums and they figured that actually homeschooling is the right choice for us as a family. So we did the ACE curriculum, which is you buy in books and you work through those books. Everything you need to know is within those books. So my mom didn't have to prepare lessons, which worked for her because she owns a business. But also, all she had to do is just do the schedule and we could do the work in our own time. I have a younger brother. He is currently still homeschooled and he is loving it. He's more science and maths and I'm more art and English, and this curriculum, it fits both of us. And I like that because it's quite flexible. You get time to do the extras that you want to do after you've finished your school. So because we got to work in our own time, I mostly finished around lunchtime. And then after that, I would go and work on whatever I wanted to. So I would do art, I'd go to a whole bunch of different groups, I would go on to set up 2 businesses. And I got to do all of that because I had time to. Now, when you go to school, you tend to go to school for a big chunk of the day, and then you come back home, you do homework, and then it's pretty much bedtime. But with the homeschooling, I was able to do so much more. I think when you're homeschooled, one of the main questions you get is, do you socialize? That's the number one thing people want to know is, are you isolated or do you actually see people? Now, 1, socialize is something you talk about with dogs. Like, you socialize your dog. And 2, I'm not quite sure why they call it homeschooling because I'm doing so much, I'm hardly ever home. I was hardly ever home. I went to drama groups, singing, craft groups, dance, all sorts of things. I had piano lessons. I did so much that I was hardly ever home. And it was so much fun because there's just this freedom. You can do whatever you like and still further your education. And you get to talk to people from all sorts of different backgrounds and people of all different ages, which I'm not sure I would have gotten to do if I went to a public school, just because you're with people around the same age. You don't really get to do much outside of school. So at the moment, I have just turned 18 and I run 2 businesses. Both my parents are entrepreneurs, so it kind of runs in the family. But with this extra time, that is one of the things I did. Now, keep in mind, I'm only 18. I have been a radio show host. I've done a whole bunch of stage shows. I have set up 2 businesses, and I still have time for all these different hobbies. I love crafting. I went to craft groups and all sorts. And I don't think I would have changed anything about my education. I loved primary school, but homeschooling was the right next step. It was perfect for us as a family. And like I said, my brother's still homeschooling and he loves it. And sometimes I get to help out if he's doing essays and things. But I think it's just really nice to have choices. There are so many different curriculums. There are freer ones. There are ones that give you that structure. For us, we needed structure. That's how our family works. We just needed that structure. But because there are so many options, there is something for everyone. And I definitely wouldn't have changed anything about my education. Homeschooling, it's honestly the best life choice I think I'm ever gonna make. It was just amazing.